Let's illustrate the process using the 9-hole Ladies Golf League. Their Winter Eclectic competition starts the first week of January and ends the last week of May. Let's process the last sweeps week in May. Column A has been narrowed to protect players' privacy. Starting at the top left, column A cell, hold down the left mouse key and drag across and down until all of the spreadsheet activity is selected. At the top of the ribbon, select Data Sort. In the Sort window, choose to sort by gross score, column AQ, from smallest to largest. Click OK. Now all the relevant scores are grouped together at the bottom so we do not copy blank rows. Select the rows with sweeps activity. On the ribbon, select the Home tab and then copy. The data is now safely stored in the clipboard. Open the Winter Eclectic spreadsheet, select a blank column cell at the bottom, and click Paste. Now we have all the sweeps activity from January to May in the Winter Ec spreadsheet. Let's sort by player's name. Starting at the top left corner, hold down the left mouse key and drag to the right to select all columns across. Then, leave the mouse, hold down the Shift key, press the page down key repeatedly until you're close to the end. When the end of the spreadsheet is close, continue holding down the Shift key and press the down arrow until the final row is selected. We can scroll back up to the top to see we have selected the entire spreadsheet activity. From the main menu, click Data Sort and choose column A. We now have all the sweeps activity grouped by player. Insert 2 rows in between each player's grouping of scores to allow space for computations. The blank rows will be inserted above the highlighted row. From the ribbon, choose the Home tab and then Insert Sheet Rows. Continue to insert 2 rows in between each player. Now, let's find the lowest score per hole using the min function. Choose the cell for the total beneath the hole number 1 column. In the cell, type an equal sign, min, and a left parenthesis. Highlight the first row in the column for hole number 1 and drag down to the last row. Enter a closing parenthesis and then hit Enter. Now copy the min formula across for all holes. Copy the formula that sums the gross score from the last row to the totals row to calculate a total eclectic gross score. Also, in preparation to calculate a weighted handicap, total the handicap column and the days played column. Repeat step 3 for all players. Manually transfer the totals for each player to the Eclectic Summary page from the Winter X spreadsheet and the 18-hole average spreadsheet. The 18-hole average is calculated using the first of the month Gin handicap from January to May. The 5 scores are added and then divided by 5 to create a simple 5-month average. The 9-hole handicap is doubled to achieve an 18-hole handicap. Repeat for each player. Calculate the net eclectic score using the 18-hole simple average and sort the summary sheet by the net score to find the overall winner. The overall winner drops out of the flight competition. Let's insert a sheet row to separate Tricia from the other players. Sort the remaining players by handicap, column AA, to establish the flights. There are approximately 50 players and we want 5 flights. That's 10 players per flight. Insert a sheet row between each group of 10 players to establish the flights. After flights are established, sort each flight by net score to determine place. Let's award 1st through 5th place. It looks like the 10-count player method split Flight B and C between 2 equal handicap averages. Nadine and Emily both have a 35.8 and should be in the same flight. The easiest way to fix this error is to delete the blank row and insert a blank row after Emily. Determine the handicap ranges for each flight and copy the place awards. Now we need to break any ties. Flight A has no ties. It looks like there's a tie in Flight B for 2nd place. So let's compare the score on the hardest hole, number 3. It looks like Nora scored a 6 and Leslie scored a 7, so the existing ranking is correct. There's a tie for 3rd in Flight C. Let's compare the scores for the hardest hole, number 3. Kate and Olivia both scored a 7, so let's move to the 2nd hardest hole, number 14. Kate scored a 6 and Olivia an 8, so the existing ranking is correct. There's a tie for 5th in Flight E. Let's compare the scores for the hardest hole, number 3. Roberta scored a 7 and Donna a 9, so the existing ranking is correct.